Hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM19 story, part of the furniture with me, Daniel. It's season 6, episode 7, and as promised today, we'll be having a double header from two competitions as we play our league game against Lincoln, who are right up there in the promotion chase, and then our big FA Cup tie in the 5th round at home to Championship Bristol City. But first, if you didn't see the last episode, we had a big transfer deadline day special. There was plenty of weird and wonderful action going on that day, and it's going to shape the next few episodes in terms of the way the club develops. So if you haven't seen that one yet, then go back and check it out, and then catch up over here when you're done. But as we've got a double header today, we'll just quickly show you the couple of games since the last episode, as well as one more bit of transfer action that happened right on the deadline. Only a little bit of news, but news nonetheless. So let's go and look at that transfer one first. In our history, as well as the two big ones that we had on camera, we sold one of our young prospects, Jordan Slater, for $80,000 to Rotherham. Again, we had the 50% sell-on clause, as well as a few other future fees. He's never going to be good enough. Both our scouts and our coaches agreed on that, and he plays in a number 10 role and isn't going to be better than David Crawford. So I thought it was a pretty good deal, but we could be proven wrong, of course. And if we are, at least we get the sell-on. Moving on to the schedule for the last few games, we just had that Wigan game. We stopped just before we kicked off. It was a brilliant game in the end. We let in an early own goal through Johnny Byrne and thought it was going to be a terrible game. Owen Jack got a brace though after Byrne had made amends at the other end, and Rowan McDonald unfortunately got sent off in the last minute. We did potentially harm us, but thankfully it was too late on to be a problem. So a brilliant win there, and good to see Owen Jack back on form. However, we followed that up with a toothless display at Shrewsbury, a 0-0 draw, and bar Ashley Richards, we were pretty poor across the board. Didn't deserve to win, but fortunately didn't lose. We then played Exeter in the Checker Trade Trophy. We won that one 3-0 with our backup team. Simiu, Darcy and a late goal from Aaron Davis, all putting us comfortably through to the semi-final. Just one game away from Wembley, which is amazing. And then we played at home to Doncaster in League One, a 2-1 win in that one. Adam Lewis giving us the lead just after Idris Kanu had equalised, and another Reece Williams goal from a set piece, giving us a lead early on. So I'm really pleased with where we stand at the moment. Obviously we're fighting in 3 competitions, which we wouldn't have expected at this stage, and a chance realistically to get to an FA Cup quarter-final is something we have to take seriously. It's just 3 days time till we play that game, so we might make a couple of changes based on fitness, and then we are going to focus on the Checker Trade Trophy as well, as we want to get to Wembley and win a competition. We saw from the league table we're 9 points clear of 3rd place, and 2nd in fact, so it's something we can afford to give a couple of games to, but we don't want to overdo it and close that gap, or we could start to panic. Once we lose our form, we're really in trouble. So let's get into the first game today. It's away to Lincoln in the league. They're up in 5th place themselves and close the gap to us to 10 points if they win today. So most importantly for me, it's about remaining unbeaten. Don't lose a game. If you draw a few away from home, that's fine. We've just got to make sure we don't start a losing streak. Lincoln are actually slight favourites for this one. Let's have a look at the fitness ratings, and let's be honest, there are some that aren't good. So we're going to have to think about changes and ways we can make the team a bit more defensive, sturdy, and save our best players for midweek. So you can see the likes of Crawford and Williams are struggling a bit, as is Adam Lewis. So I'll make those changes to the 11 and we'll confirm the lineup in a moment. Okay, changes made. We've rotated a little bit. We've just tried to get some of those with poor natural fitness out of the squad. So David Crawford drops out entirely, and the likes of Adam Lewis and Reece Williams, and now the old experienced Ashley Richards, all drop to the bench as well. Broder will come in. Don't worry about him playing there. We're going to put him up to a front 2 in a moment. We'll do that once we get into the game though. Chapman's just back from injury, so he comes into the squad, and we've got the likes of Davis who can come in at the back, as well as Shay Facey. The only one I've left in who I probably shouldn't have is Eamon McCabe, but that's because we've got one of the best deputies in Kenlock who we've decided will play on Tuesday. So our lineup for today is Bass in goal, McCabe and Facey the fullbacks with Byrne and Davis in the middle, McDonald and Butcher in central midfield, Chapman on the left, Stacey the attacking right winger, and then Broder's going to go up front alongside Owen Jack. So let's get into the match and see if that's enough to get us at least a point. Okay, it's a flat 4-4-2 for Lincoln, which makes me feel a bit better because we could potentially go and do the same thing now. Lincoln are unbeaten in 5, but we can end the run. Why not say that? Most of the lads are motivated and it's nice to see a different message there. So we're going to put the two wingers as normal on support. Jack up front with Broja. We're going to drop our mentality, are we? No, let's leave it on positive. The only thing we will do with Broja in the team and not an attacking midfielder in the squad is go slightly more direct. We've not got room to play in between the lines now. We've just got to get it up to the front men. So Broja goes as a target man on attack. Owen Jack goes into the advanced forward role, which he always does alongside Broja. And we're just going to drop our fullbacks back to defensive duties to make sure we've got a solid bank of 4. So hopefully that will be enough. But let's get into the match to find out. It's Lincoln with a throw-in though. Daly Campbell to Bastock. He gets it again to Zelly Ishmael. Tries to deliver to Brough. O'Neill with the shot and we're 1-0 down in 2.5 minutes. And that's how effective this game's going to be. What an awful start from the lads. Something we've been guilty of a few times on the road recently. We've normally recovered, but I'll be a bit upset if today's the day we don't. It's Jack with a free kick 30 yards out. He saves the day again. Owen Jack, he did it on the first day of the season against Gillingham to get us a point. And he's doing it on the road against Lincoln. What a goal from a free kick at an acute angle. And Owen Jack, with half an hour gone, has given us the goal to put us on level terms. Completely undeserved. Our only shot on target. But that's all that matters, is we're getting a point. Byrne gets the ball to McDonald. He gives it away. Butcher's given it away in the middle so many times already. I'm really not happy with his performance so far. He might be one we sling off at half time. Bastock finds O'Neill. Zelly Ishmael over the top to Brough. 2 in the middle, but it's a brilliant block by Davis and it's behind for a corner kick to Lincoln. They're going to deliver an outswinger with Yandanda. He gets it into the middle. Davis heads away. Flicked on again and the highlight ends. It remains 1-1, but Lincoln are dominating again. We scored the goal and it's straight back to Lincoln. We've got our defenders on a defensive duty, but they just seem to be conceding space out wide. I think I know what I'm going to do about it, but we'll wait to see this corner first. The keeper comes and claims it, Alex Bass. Brilliant work from him and the kick's cleared. We're going to go to our team instructions. We're going to tell the lads when out of possession to defend without narrow width. It seems like they're getting time out wide and we need to try and close that space down. So let's get back into it with 10 till the break and we'll drop to our balanced mentality as well. Not been the best half of football from us, but if we can go in level, that will certainly be an achievement. There we go then, level at the break. We've had the same amount of shots on target, but Lincoln have dominated the territory and the shots more generally. We've got the kick-off with Owen Jack though. We've encouraged the lads to try and do it in the second half, and hopefully they'll do just that. McDonald gets the ball out to Facey. Facey goes up towards the front man, but it's cleared away easily. The highlight ends, and the one thing I have noticed is Aaron Davis at centre-half is struggling. In fact, all 3 of the men we've brought in, Broja, Chapman and Davis, are the 3 worst rated players on the pitch. So that probably explains why we're struggling. We've got all the first choice options on the bench bar Crawford, so hopefully we can use them to our advantage near the end. McCabe gets the ball out from Bass. Goes back to him again. Terrible clearance from Bass and it's found Yandanda. O'Neill loses out in the middle to McDonald but wins it back. Brough switches it to Slater on the left. In towards Brough again. Brilliant save by Bass. And how there wasn't a penalty at some point there, I don't know. We're not complaining though. Brilliant work by the goalkeeper for us again. He's so often been our saviour and he's done it this time too. Owen Jack with a free kick again. We know what he can do, but this time he puts it wide and it's a goal kick for Lincoln. Burns got a free kick at the back for us. Goes short to McDonald. Can we build an attack here with Jack Stacey? He's been a bit more subdued in the defensive role on the right hand side, but he's got the ball again now in the opposition half. Butcher 30 yards out. Switches it brilliantly to Chapman. Hasn't had the best game but can deliver now to Broja and he tucks it in at the front post. Brilliant ball in from Chapman. Fantastic run across the front post from the target man. And Broja just flicks it in, giving us the lead away from home. Charlesworth hits the bar, Stevenson down, O'Neill wide, throwing bodies in front of it. Not the best defending initially, but brilliant work to try and keep the ball out. The lads are so dedicated, and they've done it again there, as Zelly Ishmael's shot's blocked. Jack on the counter-attack. He's got Broja up with him in support. Takes it down on the edge of the box. Chapman's got it on the left-hand side. Back to McCabe. Can we build another good chance? McDonald gets it from Chapman to Butcher. We've got a man over on the right in Stacey. He's got a touch there, delivers to Owen Jack, heads it straight into the arms of the keeper Smith. But with 25 minutes to go, we're looking threatening on the counter. It's Lincoln with a throw in this time though. O'Neill finds Bastock, out to Daly Campbell on the edge of the box, shoots and it's just wide of the post. It remains 2-1 to us. Let's get some subs on, try and see out the game. With 20 minutes to go, we can bring Rhys Williams back on at the back now. We're really missing his aerial presence, and Aaron Davis, although being okay, hasn't been particularly good defensively. Ellis Chapman's knackered on his way back to full fitness, so we'll get Adam Lewis on for him, and we'll give it another 5 minutes before making our final sub. We've got a warning to close down Yandander, so we'll do that, and let's just see if we can hold on for a fantastic result. It's Lincoln with a throw on the right-hand side. Daly Campbell to Slater, plays a 1-2. Back to Smith, good delivery to Brough, heads it just over, probably should have scored, but we'll take him missing chances like that. 10 minutes to go, let's make the final substitution. Butcher's knackered, so Jordan Stevens on for him. The January signing will go into a defensive role, which will just allow us to shore things up in the middle. So Rowan McDonald's going to switch to the left-hand side. He's going to go as a central midfielder on defend, and then we're going to have Jordan Stevens on the right-hand side. He'll be a deep-lying playmaker, but also on a defensive duty. So we're just going to leave the two men up front with the wingers allowed to support with possession. Let's see if we can hold on. It would certainly be a brilliant achievement. Williams gets the ball from Bass from the goal kick. He goes back out to the goal left hand side. Lewis bringing it down, beats his man. Can he get the ball into the box? In towards Broger, but it's headed away and Luke O'Neill clears. Byrne knocks it down for Stevens. Again we recovered from an early setback and now we're dominating as the rain starts to fall. Broger goes for the shot in the box. Stacey did well to carve him out an opportunity, but it's deflected behind by a brilliant challenge and it's now a corner which Stacey will take. Into Rhys Williams. Jack stole it on the line and he was offside. Why did he do that, Owen Jack? Good that he's got a poacher's instinct, but he's just cost us a chance to see out the game comfortably there. Byrne knocks down a long clearance and we're back on the defensive side of the game. O'Neill finds Folds. Long ball forward. Williams there heading away. Aerially dominant, which is what we like to see. Broger, the target man, holds it up for Lewis, who's coming on the left and made a great impact. Delivers to Jack Stacey. Puts it in at the back post. We're going to win, everyone. That's it now. We're going to win the title. What a fantastic goal. Adam Lewis on the left. Brilliant delivery to the far post, and Jack Stacey, who's had a quiet game, is there popping up with a good finish. Brilliant work, and now we've just got to hold on and keep our defensive shape. Slater finds O'Neill on the edge. He scored one already, puts that one just wide. We've dropped to a cautious mentality. We're also going to do the same in terms of time wasting, and we're going to be a bit more disciplined now too. In transition, we're going to slow the pace down. You know the drill. We're not going full defensive yet, but we're certainly going to keep things a bit more steady. Daly Campbell on the right for Lincoln. Slater to Corey Smith. He's coming forward to O'Neill. Out to Campbell on the right hand side again. Certainly been the best player for them, and we'll take a look at him with a scout report after, as he's looked a promising player. We've got Facey, who's almost certainly leaving, so we're going to need someone else in that position anyway. Stacey with a cross which is blocked. Husband brings it away to Brough. He's chasing it down the left channel. Got a man in the box, but a brilliant block. I think it was Johnny Byrne it was, who forces it out for a corner. An in-swinger from Zelly Ishmael towards Husband. Slater flicks it in. That's really poor defending. I'm so unhappy about that. And now we're going to tell them to concentrate. It's absolutely ongoing here. Corey Smith to O'Neill on the edge. Shoots, he's put it in. Unbelievable. How many long-range strikes has there been since the last update? In both saves, they just keep letting in 90th minute goals. Lewis with a delivery into the box. We've got one chance to steal it here. Hopefully we can just put it on a plate for Williams and knock it in. He's gone backwards. Of course he has. That's all offside. The flag's going to go up. And when the whistle goes, it'll be full time. A brilliant game of football, but we've not looked defensively solid, which is something we so often do. We've got to remember we were saving legs for the FA Cup, and we've still managed to get a point at a promotion rival. We keep our unbeaten run going, and now we've got to turn our attentions to one of our biggest ever cup runs so far. Shrewsbury and Charlton both won to close the gap to 7 points, so a little bit to worry about there, but a big FA Cup tie on Tuesday night will certainly get the fans over it. Hopefully they'll come and support us in numbers, and we'll be able to get a brilliant result and reach the quarter-final of the FA Cup for the first time. We'll be back in a moment with news of the lineup for the Bristol City game. Okay, we're back for what surely is one of the biggest games of the season in terms of occasions. I know we've played Spurs, which was a monstrous game. We've had a couple of other games against Premier League sides, and obviously we're in a title race. We could have a Wembley final to come in another competition, but we've got a chance today to reach the quarter-final of the FA Cup. We're actually slight favourites due to our form, although Bristol City did get back to winning ways at the weekend too, which will make things that little bit more difficult. So our lineup for today is Alex Bass in goal, Kenlock and Richards the fullbacks with Williams and Byrne in the middle, McDonald and Butcher in central midfield, Adam Lewis back in the left, then Stacey in the attacking right position with David Crawford behind Owen Jack. Let's get into it and hope we can spring another surprise. We've beaten 2 Premier League teams, so why can't we beat a Championship one? Similar formation for Bristol City, just they've got their left-sided winger a bit further forward. Hopefully we'll be able to exploit that today and get behind them on the counter. Jack Stacey's a master of that, so let's hope he can do it today too. We're not going to risk Ellis Chapman because he's absolutely nowhere near fit and just back from injury, and even then he wasn't first choice anyway. We're going to drop from a positive mentality to balanced in a few minutes if we don't start the game on top. It's what we did against the Premier League sides, so we'll do the same again here. But 5 minutes gone, there's no highlights, although Bristol City have dominated the shots, so we will drop to balance. Stacey gets the ball down from a long throw though, finds David Crawford who puts it wide, the first shot we see on camera in the match. It's Bristol City with a goal kick for Evans. Going long forward, Butcher intercepts it. Owen Jack brings the ball down. Running down the left-hand side to Adam Lewis. We've got a warning to close down Barrow, but it's us on the attack at the moment. McDonald 25 yards out to Butcher. He shoots from the edge, but it's blocked. Lewis with the cross the second time, but it's deflected behind off the fullback, and we've got ourselves a corner. Can Reece-Williams be a hero as he so often is? Stacey tries to find him at the back post, but it's just overhit and cleared away. Crawford brings the ball back down to recycle possession, but the highlight ends at 0-0. Lewis with a free kick into the box. Owen Jack at the back post. Volleys it in spectacularly. 20th goal of the season for him. I was waiting for the flag to go up, but it didn't. And we lead in the FA Cup 5th round against higher tier opposition for the 3rd game in a row. It's Barrow on the right hand side though. They're coming straight back at us. Houghton with the delivery. Richards clears away. Crawford on the counter now, charging into the space. 25 yards out. He's intercepted, just taking a bit too long there. His inexperience costing him. The long clearance only finds Reece-Williams though, and he starts again with Alex Bass in goal. They play a 1-2. Williams finds Byrne. We're just keeping possession nicely at the back. McDonald to Byrne. Probably the biggest change from last year is that we've got that ability to keep possession now too. Lewis on the edge of the box into Butcher. Deflects away, and Lewis has got the ball again. McDonald just trying to find that opening with Crawford. He finds Stacey on the edge of the box. Right hand side to Richards. Delivers to Owen Jack. Flicks it with his head just wide of the post. It could have been 2 and so comfortable, but unfortunately it wasn't to be. 5 minutes to the break after an action-packed start. We had 10 quiet minutes there, but it's Payne coming forward as Bristol City again in a foothold. Houghton on the right to Barrow. Going to cut inside on his left, I presume. Doesn't this time. Headed away by Byrne, but only as far as Payne. And there we go. Another goal from the edge of the box. Jack Payne into the bottom corner, and unfortunately it's level terms. 5 minutes to the break. If we could have held on, it would have been great, but unfortunately it's not the case. We now get the warning to close Jack Payne down. Too little, too late from our assistant manager. We've got to encourage the lads, I completely agree. They're doing a good job against the Championship side, and if we are hoping to be there next year, these are the sort of sides we're going to have to get points against. McDonald gets the ball to Crawford, out to the right hand side to Stacey, cleared out for a throw in, and I'm sure that will be the end of the highlight. It's not, we're going to see the long throw as well. It's going to be taken by Ashley Richards. Got a man there at the front post in Stacey, falls them all, but his cross is poor, and it deflects away to McDonald. Richards on the right, delivers to Owen Jack, cleared away brilliantly by Ryan Jack, his namesake. Good defending by the Bristol City man. They've got their own throw on the left now. The fullback plays it inside to Lahan. He finds Houghton on the edge of the box, goes for the shot, but Bass is smart, down to his right hand side, makes a really good save. 5 minutes into the second half, and it's been action packed and end to end again. They've got a throw in the left back position. They're playing it between 2 very long name defenders. I'm not going to try and pronounce them. They're coming over halfway, but go back to Payne, the goal scorer for them, of course. Out to Neves on the left hand side. Charging through the defence. McDonald does brilliantly, and he manages to gather possession too. Gives it straight away with an awful clearance though. Praised him too soon. Payne 25 yards out to Jack. Switches it to the right to Houghton. We've got to be wary of those long shots again. Ever since that last update, every long shot is a threat on goal. It's something we didn't have to worry about before. We could just keep a good defensive shape, but that's no longer the case. Barrow to the back post to Hector on the head, but a good save by Bass to tip it over. Another corner for Bristol City, and it would be fair to say they've probably edged the second half so far. Another free header for them in the middle, but it's gone over the bar, and we stay on level terms for now. Richards with a long throw to Stacey. Across the box to Johnny Byrne. We've taken the lead again, and those set pieces are so deadly. That's why we work so hard on them. With an hour gone, we retake the lead against Championship Bristol City, and this time we've just got to try and hold on. 20 minutes to go. It's a corner for Stacey. Williams at the back post knocks it down. Headed away as far as Lewis, 25 yards out. Switches to Stacey on the right. Crawford's in the middle, but it's wide. And we're going to make some changes in a moment. Crawford's had a really poor game in the attacking midfield role. I'm going to make a controversial change this time. We saw ourselves lose out in the game at the weekend. So let's get Jordan Stevens on. Drop him into the role that McDonald's currently playing. And McDonald will become an anchor man for the rest of the game. On defensive duty, just sitting in front of those two centre-halves. Stevens can be slightly more advanced as a playmaker. We'll put him onto the attacking support role. We'll see if that works out for now. We'll drop Stacey back shortly if we need to. Let's get back into it and give the lads a chance to hold on. Just over 5 minutes to go. It's Ashley Richards with the ball on the right. He finds McDonald. Stevens takes the touch. Great switch of play out to Adam Lewis. He delivers to the back post. Stacey's there. Puts it just wide and has wasted a brilliant chance to see off the game. With 5 minutes to go, there's some really tired legs out there. Mainly the ones that played at the weekend as well. So Butcher will come off for Stephen McComb. He'll go into his preferred central midfield role. Stacey will drop back to the right hand side and be replaced by Elliot List out there. Not quite as comfortable in that role, but for 5 minutes I'm sure he can do it. The fresh legs should make the difference, and we've just got to work our backsides off now. We've got a corner. This would help immensely if we could score here. Williams knocks it down. Byrne with a touch. Shots deflected away. Lahan clears long. Neves will chase, but Richards does well. We've got 1 minute plus stoppage time to go. We're going to drop to cautious. 4 minutes of added time have been put up on the scoreboard. So once we get into a minute or two of those, we're going to waste time. In fact, we're not even going to wait that long. Slow the pace down. In possession, we're going to waste time all the time. And we're going to play for set pieces, where we're notoriously strong. Let's get back into it and just try and see out stoppage time for a historic win for Torquay. A minute and a half to go. It's so nail-biting at the moment. Payne 25 yards out. Surely not again. Sterling delivers to the back post. Neves is unmarked, but he heads it wide, which is brilliant. We're going to pause it again to go very defensive this time. And we've just got to see out the minute. Hopefully Bass will take a yellow card and keep the ball there. Kenlock throws it in on the left to McComb. The 4 minutes are up. Now where's the whistle, referee? Byrne's got the ball at the back. Please just clear it long. Don't give it away there. Johnny Byrne, be the experienced man. He is. He goes long. It's headed back forward, but McDonald does well. Stevens brings it down and the whistle goes. We're into the quarter-finals of the FA Cup. Who would have seen that coming as a League One side? A wonderful performance from the lads. And over the course of the 2 games, I'm really delighted with how we've done. We'll say well done to the lads. They deserve it for that. And we'll obviously see the 6th round draw before we go. United are out, so Spurs the only big boys left. We could have another winnable tie next time out, but we'll be back in a moment for that draw. Make sure you stick around for it. Right, it's the quarter-final draw for the FA Cup. We're in it and we know we're through. There's a couple of really big sides left. City could be getting through, as could Liverpool, and Tottenham are already there. But there are some lower Premier League and Championship clubs left, so hopefully we can get one of them. Let's just draw them out and see what we get. Man City away, we're going to presume they'll win that tie. That could be amazing. That's Sheffield United though. Fulham away is possibly more winnable, but we'd really not like to go to a Championship side away from home. That's gone for Leicester. Who's next? It's Nottingham Forest, another Championship side away from home. If we don't get this, we could get Tottenham for the 2nd time this season. Nottingham Forest play Spurs, so that means, are we going to get a home tie? We are. If Liverpool get through against Watford, we are going to be playing Liverpool in the quarter-final of the FA Cup down here at Plainmoor, and hopefully we'll be able to give them a game. Liverpool are top of the Premier League. They've won the league the last 2 years, the Premier Division, so they are going to be formidable opposition. We expect them to get through, otherwise we're playing my beloved Luton Town's rivals Watford, another Premier League side, so both great ties for Torquay. But that will be all for this episode. If you did enjoy it, please put a thumbs up on it. Thanks for sticking around for the double header. We'll carry on our promotion push off camera before coming back for a massive quarter-final against one of these sides. I know it'll make the season slightly longer, but they're games and events that are just too big not to show. Let me know whether you think we'll hang on in the League One promotion race. We could obviously have another game at Wembley in the Checkatrade Trophy final. I'm going to prioritise that as well and rest players for the league game against Barnsley. Once we've got those two ties out of the way, we'll get straight back to the League One action. Subscribe to the channel for daily FM19 content from my two long-term stories, this one part of the furniture with Torquay United, as well as our other series, The Head Coach with Barnsley. Tomorrow's episode in that one will be the final day of the league season, where we've got a lot to play for, so I hope you'll go and check that one out. But a massive thanks for watching this one as always, and we'll see you next time for what I hope will be an FA Cup quarter-final at home to Liverpool.